Hey Saber fans, it's Aaron here, and it's time for some proffie pixel action. Everybody's favorite.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
And I want to show this with one of my personal favorites.
The balance.
This. As you'll notice, this puppy is loud.
Like vengeance.
Very loud. So, as you can see, it's MHSV1 parts. I kind of just got a little creative with it. We have essentially an Anakin Attack of the Clones emitter coupled with what I like to think is a Kyle Katarn type brass choke point. And we have some Graflex ROTS inspiration there, along with a slimline control box from One Replicas. We have the A New Hope grips set up in A New Hope config, as in there's the gap in between the center of the control box. And I always prefer the control box on the left side as opposed to the right side, which would be A New Hope, whereas this is more of ESB TFA alignment. And we got a knurled cap. And I use the Custom Saber Shop MHS chassis. Proffie board. 15 amp high drain battery. Now the real kicker, which is what makes this really loud, is the speaker. So this is a WOW speaker from Model Train Company. Similar to Railmaster. It's a bigger name in the Saber community. I believe the abbreviation for this is TCS. So I honestly couldn't tell you the site right off the top of my head, but wow is an understatement.
Luke Skywalker.
This sucker is fantastic. And I am using the Proffie Ultra OS fork that Alex Redmond created. It's very good. I like it so far. You have your typical activation, just press activation, but instead of pressing for deactivation like it normally would be for Proffie, you press and hold for 2 seconds. However, you have to time it. It doesn't go off by itself, so you can hold it for, let's just count it down, 5 seconds. And nothing. So you actually have to time it within a certain time frame. Same for music. You can press it to activate it, but you have to press and hold it for about 2 seconds to get the activation for the music. Really loud. Force effects are a double click. Blaster is just single click of auxiliary. So force is double click of activation. Lockup, you press and hold the auxiliary, just like on Plector. So this is a lot more similar to Plector setup now. I also notice if you press and hold activation while it's on and slap it, it'll still activate the lockup, similar to how it would be with the auxiliary in the original Proffie setup. So force effects, blaster, lockup. See if I can get it with press and hold and activation. Yep. So you get the best of both worlds. I think think it's fantastic.
Kylo Ren.
Now, I did use a different type of NeoPixel connector in this. So this is my standard demo blade, so it's regular old connectors. However, on this one I use the KR Saber's magnet and pogo pin connector, which I have a heavy grade blade with the magnet on it. So those magnets are crazy strong. Like, getting them straight in the mail, they are impossible to pry apart with your fingers. Like, I actually had to get an X-Acto knife just to get in between them, just to wedge them apart, just so I could install them. But, so you see, set screw is not tightened. So, it's in there. If you start dueling with it, yeah, it'll probably come out, but I use set screws anyways, just because. Even on Texas Custom Sabers Luke, you know, he has an interesting get-up with that, to where there's some O-rings in there. It's supposed to be like a friction fit, you know, the blade won't come out, whatever. I didn't trust it, put a blade retention in there anyways. But love it. Absolutely love it. That's by far one of my favorite blade presets. Thank you, Stock, again, for making the awesome preset. Aside from that, it's my typical setup for this. Didn't really change much. If you want to see all the blade effects, I have other videos demoing them. This is mainly for the Saber. As you can see, I have a recharge port there. Now, I speak high praise of this speaker, this TCS speaker, but yeah, I love it. It's an awesome speaker so far, but I'm not quite there to trust it yet. Not to offer it in a commission, since this is personal. I'm like, okay, I can test it all I want. I can make sure, you know, I've tried knockoff speakers before. You know, they usually end up blowing pretty quick. Now this is set at 75%. So it's a 4-watt speaker. Now I have it set at, if you're familiar with the Proffie setup, 0 to 4,000, I believe. I think it can handle up to 4 watts, maybe even more. A Saber Essential is 2 watts, so you got to run that at like 1,200 for it to be safe, essentially. Probably can go up to 1,500, but I don't trust it because speakers aren't cheap. 15 bucks a pop, pretty darn expensive for a little speaker. Now these are about the same price, but until I am 100% certain that these are solid, rock solid, not going to blow within a week of the customer having it, I'm not going to offer them. But if these turn out to be good, it's going to be huge for Proffie board. Just because a 4-watt speaker, that can push twice as much as a Saber Essential, and it is very clear, very loud. And the same as any other Saber fan, 9 times out of 10 we want the loudest, brightest, cleanest, sexiest Saber on the market. You know, as in cleanest motion detection anyways. So smooth swing covers the motion detection. Bright blade, NeoPixel got it. Speaker, this is looking promising. Let's see, did I forget anything else? The KR NeoPixel blade, or pogo pin connectors, I love it. Only thing I'd like to see more on it is more pins. That's it, because I think this has right now 4 positives, 3 negatives, and a data line in the dead center. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's great. I would like to see as many pins as the 11 pin connectors from TCSS. That way you could handle more amps. Or, I think it's just better heat distribution actually. So don't quote me on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just heat distribution. So this is great. The magnets are really cool. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. I hope this maybe gives you inspiration for a type of lightsaber design. This Saber design, minus the brass rods and the tape, it's about $100. Well, and the grips too. The grips, I had some core bands laying around. So minus the grip or the choke rods, the grip tape, and the grips, you're about $100. It's a pretty wicked looking saber. You know, if you can figure out a good way to do these brass rods like I did, you know, they're all very uniform. And I do have them, I used E6000 on both sides on the inside. Because I don't want these rattling around, going anywhere. So they're in there. They're solid. But, yeah. Hope you enjoy it. Until the next time, Saber fans, may the force be with you always.